Get fresh, gotta get fresh.
Down is no boom boom pow, down is boom boom pow. Smell fire na uchafuzi na zibita improve down it. Protect nguo zangu na nukia niko safi. Lazima niwe fresh na down is boom boom pow. Boom boom pow, down is no boom boom pow. Smell zote na zi boom boom pow. Powerful freshness, down is boom boom pow.
Alright, welcome to Maisha Prime News on the award-winning TV station. I'm here to give you more on what is happening in the country and beyond. But first, coming up.
Friend and colleague, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, but I'll just say that we are here as the Kenya Kwanza team.
Talks begin as Azmio and Kenya Kwanza teams sit for the first meeting.
Nilikuwa hapa Noko na hii trailer ilitoka huko juu ikiyumba yumba. Na hata huyu mtu wa baskeli tulisalamiana pale kozi na mjua anatoka Kimaeti. Bunde tu kidogo harakati iliyumba yumba na ikaswaka Nissan ikateremka upande ya mtaro.
Truck driver burns to death as vehicle loses control in Bungoma.
Sasa kazi ya viongozi wananchi walimaliza. Hakuna tena mjadala itafanyika ati kiongozi fulani apate chochote.
Na sisi tumemwambia huyu rais wetu ametembea hapa mlima.
End of 5-day tour by President William Ruto in Mount Kenya. What next for Mount Kenya? Welcome, my name is Mary Magdalene Nekesa. The much-awaited Kenya Kwanza and Azmio la Umoja coalition talks at Bomas of Kenya kicked off on Wednesday. The leader of the Azmio delegation, Kalonzo Musyoka, in his opening remarks said they will respect the dignity of all participants, the constitution and the rule of law. Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire, leading the Kenya Kwanza team, said they had come in good faith and putting the interest of Kenyans first.
Ensure respect for the Constitution and the rule of law. Number 5, we undertake to regularly and honestly update the people of Kenya on the developments throughout this process. And number 6, respect and uphold the dignity of all our participants and Kenyans in the dialogue. We shall not negotiate, and this is important for us, for any form of power sharing with the Kenya Kwanza Alliance or put any personal interest ahead of the interests of our people. Fellow Kenyans, we ask for your continued prayers and support so that we may find a lasting solution to the challenges that bedevil our nation. May God bless Kenya. Asanteni sana. Now, yes, thank you so much, Eugene. Our delegation comprises Mheshimiwa Eugene Wamalo, leader of a political party DAP, Mheshimiwa Opio Wandai, a minority leader in the National Assembly. I'm quite sure all of you know these leaders. Nobody should pretend they're getting introduced to anybody. Amina Mnyazi, she does represent a continuous approach to this because she was in the bipartisan talks, a member from Kilifi, Malindi, Senator Senior Counsel, Kongimo Umgeni, and we have, of course, our backup teams at the back there. We say this is opening, so people are free to come. So we have Mheshimiwa Mwango Area there. Mheshimiwa Kioni heads our technical team. We have there our other friends, Professor Olo, Adam Solo, and of course, Wajakoya is sitting out there. We said we can open this up. He's here. But should we decide, by the way, to have an inaugural session where we can invite our international friends, I'm quite sure it will be a bigger forum, or other Kenyans, so that because I'm sure that Kenyans are really following this process. Mheshimiwa Mwango Area, I think I did mention, Wajakoya, and our brother Zain, a former member of IALA, is also in our backup teams, and I think I saw a few other younger people. They're standing up there. You get to introduce as we move on. Okongo and Rodney and others. So over to you, my dear sister.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. The honorable members here present and the media, good morning. No, good afternoon. I'm here to represent our team leader, the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, who unfortunately got held up in Nyeri, and due to the bad weather he couldn't get to fly in time, but is now airborne. We expect that he should be here shortly. Friend and colleague, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka, but I'll just say that we are here as the Kenya Kwanza team because we know that our country is more important than any one of us. And we've been sent here by the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, to come and sit with our brothers to find a solution to the issues that are being brought on the table. We come here in good faith. We come here putting the interests of the people of Kenya first. We come here determined to look for long-lasting solutions for our great country, Kenya. We as a country, I think we've had our challenges in the past and we've taken peace very, very seriously. And in those moments where we were called upon to sit and talk and look for solutions, we've done that. We believe that even now we'll be able to get the solutions that are required to move our nation forward and to maintain the peace that we so dearly need for the prosperity of our nation. I also believe, and we believe as a team, that the issues before us are issues that can be discussed and solutions found. And that we are able, as a nation, to come up with our own local solutions to our issues because we are called upon as leaders to do so. And therefore, we want to promise the Azimio team that we are here to discuss the issues as we shall raise them. We will take this process very, very seriously, and our president has directed that we do so, and that will continue to consult both within here and outside in order that we can come up with long-lasting solutions. I want to believe that each one of us is here for open and fair dialogue, and that we shall be led by our commitment to the common interest of the people of Kenya and not personal interests. And so we look forward to a truly consultative process, dialogue, led by the interests of the people of Kenya, and more importantly, guided by our mutual trust from both sides, and guided by our constitution and the laws of Kenya. So we look forward to a great session today and in the future, and we hope that we can be able to seek solutions in the quickest way possible so that our country can continue to move forward. Thank you very much, and we are happy to be part of this process.
Excuse me, Chair. You forgot to introduce our backup team at the back here.
We do have honorable members. Please stand up.
Moving on, President William Ruto has today commissioned the Narumoru Level 4 Hospital in Kieni constituency in Nyeri County. On Wednesday, Ruto marked his 5th and final day of the Mount Kenya tour. The head of state has been commissioning various development projects in the region. Ruto noted that community health promoters are the engines of our universal health coverage rollout. Our reporter Mesh Musimbi with more.
Hii ya hasla hii.
President William Ruto on Wednesday spent his last day of his Mount Kenya tour.
Tumekubaliana ya kwamba Kenya ni nchi ya amani.
He has been in the region for the past 5 days where he launched many development projects. He commissioned the Narumoru Hospital Kieni constituency in Nyeri. The head of state was in company of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Health Cabinet Secretary Susan Nahumicha, Kikuyu Member of Parliament Kimani Ichung'wa, Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga, and Yala Member of Parliament Kanini Kega, among other leaders. The head of state, while addressing residents on the streets, he stamped authority against violence in the country. Ruto insisted that he will not let violence be used as a tool to divide and destroy the country.
So mimi nataka niwatangazie wale watu wa maandamano. Hawa wananchi walimaliza kazi ya viongozi tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8 mwaka uliopita, siku kama ya leo. Ile kazi sasa iko ni kupanga ya mama mboga, ni kupanga ya hawa maasla, ni kupanga hawa vijana watafanya kazi namna gani. Mradi kama hii affordable housing, mradi kama ile ya county aggregation and industrial park, mambo ya maji kama hii ya Gishugu, mambo ya stima, mambo ya kupanga ajira ya hawa. Hiyo ndio kazi imebaki, na kazi ingine ni ya kilimo, kuzalisha chakula tuweze kuondoa njaa. Maneno hiyo ingine, kazi ya viongozi imekwisha.
The head of state vowed he will do whatever it takes to protect Kenyans and their properties. Ruto explained that violence undermines Kenya's democracy, development and prosperity. And he added his voice saying he will not accept a handshake between him and Mr. Odinga.
Sasa wale watu hawachani na mimi. Mimi si hawajaniajiri, nyinyi ndio mmenipatia kazi. Na mimi nimelete kazi report kwa wale walinipatia kazi.
However, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua said he will continue to support his boss and never to accept a handshake between Dr. Ruto and Raila Odinga.
Na tumemwambia si yeye akae ngumu. Kuna watu walikuwa wanajaribu kumsukuma vile walisukuma Uhuru ati auziwe uoga na mtu ya kitendawili amuleta kwa serikali.
The second in command added that coffee cartels in the Mount Kenya region will be dealt with accordingly.
Na mzungu ya kukunywa kahawa hapa katikati iko mlolongo watu karibu 17. Aliniambia hiyo watu yote ni waondoe, ndio mkulima na mkunywaji waonane moja kwa moja. Saa hii wameanza kutusumbua. Wanaanza kusema watakataa kununua kahawa ndio watuketishe kwa meza tukubali ile bei mbaya. Huyu rais wetu amesema msijali, wakileta kichwa rais atatoa pesa ya serikali tununue kahawa. Ndio sasa
On the other hand, the majority leader in the National Assembly, Kimani Ichung'wah, he said he will not accept a handshake and the cost of living is the manifesto of the Kenya Kwanza government and they will not be discussed in the ongoing bipartisan talks.
Na ameniongezea kazi ingine ya kuongoza mazungumzo ya kusema mambo 3 peke yake. Mambo ya fujo, ya vita na vurugu, ya maandamano ya fujo, hakuna Kenya tena. Mambo ya nusu mkate na handshake na cooperation na kunusa serikali na kukaribia serikali hakuna. Bei ya gharama ya maisha ni kazi ya rais aliyechaguliwa na hiyo kazi anafanya, sio mambo ya kuongea. Negua.
Furthermore, Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru thanked the head of state for the developments he has brought to Mount Kenya region. She asked Mr. Ruto to bring more fertilizer to the people of Kirinyaga to enable farmers get access to it.
Mheshimiwa Rais, hawa watu ni wakulima na umetuagizia fertilizer. Lakini fertilizer ikifika inaenda kule Sagana. Na Sagana ni mbali sana kwa wakulima wote wa Kirinyaga. Sisi tunataka kukuomba Mheshimiwa Rais, kama vile nilikuwa nakwambia, tukue na station hapa Kirinyaga, watu wa Geshogo wakuwe na mahali ya kulikujia. Kukuwe na station zingine kule kwa mafactory, kule upande wa Mwea kukuwe na kwingine. Na mimi kama gavana unajua nimejitolea vilivyo. Wewe ukisema left, mimi naendanga left. Ukisema right, mimi naendanga right. Ukisema forward, mimi naenda huko mbele forward. Your Excellency, mimi nataka kukuomba, mimi nitajitolea kutafuta store. Ukikubalisha watu wako, mimi nitafungua store kila mahali, ndio hawa watu wakuwe na mahali ya kuenda kupata fertilizer karibu.
Kiharu Member of Parliament Ndindi Nyoro said a handshake will not be accepted between President William Ruto and Mr. Odinga.
Nyinyi, munataka watu ya kuingia serikali kupitia kwa dirisha. Mumesema mumenipea ruhusa kama kijana ya rais na deputy wetu. Mumetupea ruhusa na Kimani Ichung'wah na Siani na wale wengine. Tuweke mzee kwa wheelbarrow.
Nonetheless, Sabina Chege acknowledged President Ruto's effort in pushing developments in the country.
Tulikuwa tumeambiwa hata angalia maneno ya vijana, ameangalia angalia. Si hata maneno ya hospitali ameangalia. Amefanya kazi hajafanya. Na kwa sababu mimi sasa ndio party leader wa Jubilee, mimi nataka kumuomba na yeye akuwe patron na situache. Si tulikuwa naye pamoja.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Mesh Msimbi.
And a truck driver died on Wednesday morning following a tragic incident along the Webuye-Malaba Highway in Bungoma County. According to eyewitnesses, the truck driver lost control and hit an electric pole. The impact triggered a massive explosion when the truck fuel tank burst into flames. Sandra Kidamani with more.
It was a sad state of affairs in quiet Bungoma County that woke up to the news of a tragic accident which occurred at the wee hours of Wednesday. The accident that involved a truck carrying petroleum tank saw the death of the truck driver who was burnt to death. According to reports, the truck driver plying Webuye-Malaba Highway lost control of the truck, hitting an electric pole with a transformer along Sikata area. The impact of the accident sparked fires that quickly turned to huge flame, burning the driver to death. An eyewitness told Maisha TV that he was hit by the truck as it rolled on the road, forcing him to leave his bicycle and scamper away for safety.
Nilikuwa natoka nyumbani Kimwanga, nilikuwa naelekea kasini Ndengelwa. Nilipofika mahali hapa, chenye niliona hata sijui kuelezea, lakini mbele yangu niliona trailer imeovertake ingine. Sekunde chache tu nikaanza kuiona ikianza kuyumba. Kama mita ngapi hivi tu nikaiona sasa inaanza kupiringika. Kwa tamira yangu sasa nikaiona Nissan yenye ilikuwa nyuma yangu ikanipitako tu kidogo, na nikaiona hiyo Nissan ikapinduka pia. Kuangalia mbele naona hii trailer sasa imeanza kupringika. Na mimi kwa ajili ya baisikeli pia mimi nikiangua mtaroni nikaanza kupringika kidogo. Ikakata waya ya stima, nikaangua karibu na waya ya stima. Hata nilikuwa nafikiri waya ya stima ndio inanichapa mimi. Lakini tena nikapringika. Kuamuka tu hivi. Trailer imeanguka penye nimeamukia tu hapo.
Initially, there were attempts by bodaboda riders to save the life of the truck drivers, but they were unable.
Mimi ni supervisor wa skata, wale watu ambao wanafanya usafi. Nilikuwa hapa Noko, na hii trailer ilitoka huko juu ikiyumba. Na hata huyu mtu wa baskeli tulisalamiana pale kozi na mjua anatoka Kimaeti. Bunde tu kidogo, harakati iliyumba na ikaswaka Nissan ikateremka upande ya mtaro. Na hakika kitu ambacho nimeona tu hapa, na kuna kijana tu wa boda mmoja alijaribu kuokoa huyu mtu wa trailer. Shida tu yenye alifanya hata angetoka mzima, alikuwa amefunga belt na akashindwa kufungua. Akachukua sweta, tumeangalia tu akachifunika kwa uzo. Ile moto ya kwanza ya pili ndiye imefanya huyu jamaa akaungua. Na huyu hata boda, nashukuru Mungu hata pikipiki yake iko pale hapo kwa hii duka babaranda.
Mshtuko hiyo vile nilisikia, nilikimbia nikakuja nikafika hapo. Kuona dakika kidogo, nikasikia mwenzetu anaumilia ndani. Kumwangalia nikajaribu kumuvuruta, kuangalia hivi hiyo side, juu moto ilikuwa nyuma inawaka kwa tanki inachomeka na mafuta. Lakini bado moto ilikuwa imemfikia. But kujaribu kumuvuruta na angalia kumbe alikuwa amefunga felt belt. Sasa kajaribu kumuvuruta lakini ikashindikana. Nikajaribu kutwist hivi steering yatoke but ikashindikana. Sasa kwa twist hii side amekataa. But sasa moto ikakuja ikamfikia na ikamchukua.
Bungoma County Police Commander Francis Kohli, confirming the accident, said the driver was trying to avoid a bodaboda rider when he hit the transformer.
This is an accident that took place between 7 to 7:30 in the morning, and it's believed that according to the eyewitness, the driver of this truck lost control, and the truck did hit the electricity pole, causing the accident. And actually, as you can see, the truck is burned beyond the normal. You can see the features of the vehicle has been turned to some parts cannot even. It's just a shell.
The fire took about 30 minutes before the Bungoma Fire Brigade arrived to put it off.
Tumekaa sana tukingoja wale wazima moto, tukiona moto ule mtu akichomeka, gari likichomeka lishe. Hata huenda wangekuja mapema, kuna mabaki yangebaki ya ile gari. Lakini hata wakati wamefika, hawana mwelekeo. Ni kama wanajifunza, ni kama hawana maji, mpaka watu wa bodaboda wakapanda juu wenyewe. Ndio wajaribu kusaidia kufanya aje kuvuta hiyo pipe wazime moto. Kile ninachoomba kiongozi wetu governor wa Bungoma, kama ni fedha haziko kwa ile unit ya emergency, wawekee pesa kwa unit ya emergency, ndio kitu kama hiki kisiweze fanyika tena siku nyingine.
Please, Ken Makelo Lusaka, ambia watu yako ya simamoto wachali maslaha ya wananchi. Tangu saa 12 kari inawaka, wananchi wanapika nduru. Simamoto inakuja saa 2:30 na wako na kwota ya maji kwa gari.
According to the history of the road, the spot where the accident happened is a deadly hotspot characterized by frequent accidents due to the steep slope.
Some things might happen in terms of other obstructions, and if you are at high speed and controlling these trucks when you are loaded, then it's an issue. So what we are encouraging drivers is to look at the mechanisms of their vehicles, because they have experience on how to control. Because if you can see there is actually, you can see there is a vehicle. If a vehicle is driving down, then it will tell you need to be controlling your vehicle right from the top of that kahil before even coming to that depression there.
For Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, my name is Sandra Kidamani.
Thank you, Sandra Kidamani. And moving on, State employees will now get 7 to 10% salary raise and backdated to July 1st after freeze placed in 2021. The salaries body told editors at the breakfast meeting in Nairobi that the salary review is based on growth momentum that picked up immediately after COVID-19. Salaries and Remuneration Commission says the National Treasury has allocated 27.1 billion Kenya shillings for 2023-2024 to undertake the exercise.
Operations, most of them will be frozen because they are at an average of 89th percentile. But remember, what we have given you is an average. It doesn't mean they are all at 89th. Indeed, there are state corporations that are below 50th. So the amount that you saw there that we shared earlier means that for state corporations that are really way below, then there will also be a review on a case-by-case basis. Can we specify at this point which ones we can share later if we need to, but actually that's the message, that for those that are way below, there will be a review. Commuter allowance is this being reviewed? No. The reason is a question about affordability. Yes, we do acknowledge that cost of living will impact all elements of remuneration, including commuter. However, we've been taken through the economic realities by the CS. So going by the realities on the ground, we cannot afford to make that review.
I listened to Lane here, Megich. She was even saying that the salary structure is 7.4% of GDP. But actually, what she should be saying, it is actually slightly over 50% of tax revenue, because that's where we pay the salaries, and the wage structure is based on tax revenue. Currently, we are actually generating 15.8%. That's our target. 15.8% of GDP is actually, that is what the tax effort or tax revenue is all about, tax to GDP. So you're actually saying out of that, you're getting 7.4%, isn't it? So you can imagine why we have to push the denominator to be better, that is the GDP.
All right, let's take a short commercial break. My name is Mary Magdalene Nekesa.
Get a holistic picture of the day's news in 60 minutes. Join me, Mesh Msimbi, weekdays for Maisha special report.
The signings were happening.
Bringing you the top headlines across the country.
And his deputy,
Alan and Boyd.
The most compelling moments feeding in from our nation. And the stories and people you might not be aware of, but you should be.
Si tulimaliza uchaguzi tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8.
Mnatupa tia kasi kufanya kazi gani?
We'll give you a front row seat to what's happening and show you why it matters. Maisha special report. We've got the country covered in 60 minutes.
Runinga ya Maisha, stesheni inayokuwa kwa kasi sana kwa hisani ya Kuza Awards. Zaidi ya watu milioni 5 wanaitazama kwa habari za utendeti na burudani bomba. Unaichagua, unaitazama na unaipenda.
You followed very keenly about the manifesto. Dr. William Samoei Ruto spent a lot of time on agriculture because agriculture is the backbone of this country. And we want to give capital to farmers Because if you increase productivity in agriculture, you create jobs at the best. When you increase productivity in agriculture, then you bring in the issue of food security. When you increase productivity in agriculture, then you provide enough raw materials for the manufacturing industry.
The Hot Seat Conversations, in association with Politics, Leadership, and Governance. 7 and 10 p.m. Thursdays.
Bonjour, bonjour, finally! My hands, your waist, my heart.
Stay tuned for absolute happiness for kids.
I stretched my hand up higher, but she called on Zach. Even when I lose a minute.
They miss you and they love you so much.
Akushikwa Kenyatta peke yake.
Watch the ultimate premium kids starter pack.
Innovation, creativity, modernization.
Welcome to Kenya.
Maisha Kids Show Monday to Friday at 4 p.m.
Welcome, Maisha TV.
My teachers are doing a wonderful job.
And Saturdays from 6 to 10 only on Maisha Television.
You deserve to know. A great deal between true and false, what is happening and what is fundamental. Furthermore, you are the most important person, not only to you, but to us. That is why I research, explore, authenticate, and prepare adequately and sufficiently to bring you bold and authoritative news. So join me, reader Chebet Karim, at 8 p.m. for Maisha Prime News every Monday to Thursday. Get the whole story.
Maneno imekuwa mingi. Hata juzi wamesema kwamba mimi nilipewa pesa na wewe ili nisikue katika bunge. Na unajua nimekuwa na sherehe ya mtoto, nilikuwa naolewa. So hiyo siku tulikuwa kwa mambo ya pre-wedding, siku ya parliament. Na mimi ninajua kwamba kazi ya parliament ni Tuesday. Hii tunaenda ndio sasa usipoona mjumbe wako, nikipiga simu yako nifanye nikuuze. Wanasema umenipa pesa na mimi sijakuona. Hatujaonana. Simu yangu nikipiga haingii. Nikila langu aliko. Sasa ulinipatia pesa kwa osmosis. Sasa hiyo maneno nataka wananchi mjue kwamba we are in a global economic meltdown. Mimi nimekuwa Marekani juzi. Items I was buying for $70 nimenunua na $200. Things are not good worldwide. What we are going through is not a Kenyan problem.
Alright, welcome back. My name is Mary Magdalene Kesa, and moving on, patriarchal beliefs of male heterosexual dominance and the devaluation of girls and women lies at the root of gender-based leadership. Our reporter Rida Chebet in this feature examines how gender dominance discourages women from political participation, with the report throwing up likely solutions. Sit back, take a coffee and relax.
Patriarchal beliefs of male heterosexual dominance and the devaluation of girls and women lie at the root of gender-based leadership. Patriarchy is a structural force that influences power relations, affecting women politicians in Bungoma County. In this feature, I examine how gender dominance discourages women from political participation, with the report throwing up likely solutions. This story is part of the African Women in Media, Illuminate Young Women in Politics Media Project. She is a beam of happiness and excitement.
Yes.
She had agreed to meet me at her office in Bungoma County at midday, and she was already seated and waiting, calmly taking in the tranquil of the decorated office at the county headquarters. It is difficult to believe that she is the first woman deputy governor of a county of an area of 2,069 kilometers square, 9 constituencies, and a population of 1.7 million, of which more than half are females. It was smiles when she cited my presence, together with my camera person from Maisha Television Kenya. Her demeanor illuminated the incredibles of leadership's nuggets and softening her solemn-looking face, as well as revealing white even teeth. She stood up and greeted my reporter and I as she made us comfortable in her office, well guarded and warm, deftly responding to questions. Pastor Jennifer Chemutai Mbatiani is the Deputy Governor of Bungoma County in the Western region of Kenya under Ford Kenya Party in the 2022 general election. Her Excellency Pastor Jennifer Chemutai Mbatiani, an arts degree in gender, women and development holder, an additional degree in theology from Egerton University, is an experienced leader and can talk about challenges and women's participation in politics and leadership with ease. Mbatiani, who served as gender advisor in Governor Lusaka's office between 2013 and 2017, says the passion to serve people by addressing their needs saw her join politics.
When I grew up as a young girl, I would say no. But later on in life, after I grew up in my high school and maybe after finishing, I came back to my society and I looked around and saw how my people were living, how the young girls were being discriminated, some were dropping out of school. Then out of that, it's like I developed some burden entered into my heart, and I had some passion now came in, and due to that I started now developing a vision, and I said one day, one time, if I'm given an opportunity to be in a position of influence, I will be able now to address the issues that my community are going through, and especially the issue of the girl child, because I grew at a time when girls, you know, in our society we do FGM, female genital mutilation is our practice, and most of our girls, after being circumcised, they would just drop out of school, get married, and then later on, if you follow up into their lives, you realize their lives are really miserable. So because of that passion, I developed some passion, and I said, if I'm given one day, I have a vision of delivering my fellow girls.
Honorable Mbatiani, who in 2022 contested for Deputy Governor for the Bungoma gubernatorial seat with Governor Kenneth Lusaka on the platform of the Ford Kenya Party ticket, said she joined the party in a bid to foster for proper representation of women at all levels, to upsurge constitution mandate of proportional representation, that all elective and selective positions had to be 35% specially allocated to women.
Some of us, we have fought the fight, and I want to thank myself that I've been so resilient to be where I am today. If I gave up, and the reason why I persisted and persevered is because I was looking at these young girls, the upcoming leaders, because some of us now we are aging, and as we age, we want also to leave the mantle to these young girls, the young women that are coming up. So I want to encourage them that it is possible. You just need to be determined, You just need to be focused, know what you want, and go for it.
All right.
Because I remember even me, I wanted to become the deputy governor in 2013. But it wasn't possible because of the cultural issues. Elders said, okay, it's not yet the right time for us to be led by a woman. But I didn't give up. I didn't. I insisted. I persevered. I remained there.
Yes.
Yes, until now, I am the deputy governor. Yes. I remember there was a time when we didn't even have any woman governor or any woman in those higher positions.
Yeah.
But after the 2010 constitution, things have started changing. Okay, in the constitution we have what is called the affirmative action, which where the women's seat position was created. We thank God for that. The two-third gender rule is also in the constitution. We are still fighting to achieve it, but I'm sure with the time it will be achieved.
The discussion soon narrowed down to how patriarchal politics was not favorable to women. She said the electoral process in Kenya, and particularly Western Kenya region, was not only very expensive, but the belief that only men must lead is detrimental and it negatively affects women politicians.
In my leadership position and basing on the community where I come from, the most undoing challenge is the cultural belief, of course, where people think that, they keep on saying women, it's not yet the right time for us to be led by women.
Yes.
They have that mindset where they believe women can never be leaders.
Yeah. She said currently there is no elected woman for the member of National Assembly in Bungoma County, and this is attributed to male dominance of political systems, culture, and the economy, not to mention threats of violence, educational stipulations, and gender stereotyping.
When we come to our county, we still have a problem. We don't have any elected woman member of parliament. We only have 6 elected members of county assembly. The others are nominated. So what we are saying, there is some progress, but we have not yet reached where we want to be. We are still fighting to ensure that we attain our goal.
Kenyan women over the years have shown keen interest in leadership positions, but so many barriers limit them. As much as they occupy executive positions in local and multinational companies, the political space continues to be elusive to many of them. Irene, why do women shy from elective seats, and what should be done to curb this?
I think culture has played a key role in women not getting into leadership positions, and this is because our culture dictated that women were not to voice anything, like they were not to be heard most of the time. And so this has affected women so much, because this is the reason why also women used not to get into education that is what would empower them to get into elective positions. But I think so far so good. We can appreciate the fact that women are getting out, but I know still there's 1, 2, 3 that is still affecting them in terms of even when they are in their positions, nobody really gives them the support that they need, and especially even the women, and knowing that women are the majority in the community, you find that fellow women don't give the needed support for women leaders. And this is something that we really need to work on so that we can put our women in their positions of leadership. I think it's a very good thing if a woman is in leadership, because we know it starts from her heart. A woman is this kind of person who has been modeled in a way that she takes care of everything, everyone, and anything affecting the community really affects the woman directly. And so when we let women be in positions of leadership, I know it's going to be a way forward for us. But now, as I have mentioned, I think the culture thing, we are doing away with it slowly by slowly. Not just pushing away the culture, but, just putting away the wrong culture. So most women now, I think we are coming out, and what we need to do more is to look for more women who are going to support us as women leaders so that we can go into these political elective positions, because we know when we are there, things are going to be good even for our fellow women. So I think the right thing to do now is to get empowered, and this is get all our girl children to school and take them to the best schools and take them to places where they can get experience into how they can be leaders, and exposing them to what they need, not looking into the fact that maybe they are women or they are ladies and so they cannot do better. If we expose them, if we give them the right support they need, I think at the end of the day we're gonna have very strong people in leadership, and women in leadership will be comfortable knowing that they have enough support from behind them and from every other person that really needs to support them. So we need the support, we need the empowerment, and also we need to work on our culture so that we can be the best in leadership. Thank you.
Msimbi, a legal academic, added that the financial crisis also had a negative impact on women.
Women carry a double burden. They have to go to work and also take care of their kids. And there is still division of labor between men and women. And oftenly, women lack time to engage in politics.
She stressed that economic empowerment, women's involvement in political parties, and the prevention of violence against women are key in ensuring a better future for women.
So what we have to do, we have to reflect on our economic and political systems. And another thing, women's roles have changed, and this needs to be reflected in the laws and policies at a decision level. Women's voices must be heard.
From a gender perspective, 3 vital lessons can be learned from the 2022 general election. First, gender issues are on the rise, a fact shown not least by the appointment of the first ever women running mates for one of the 2 main presidential candidates.
I have the great honor to announce that I have picked as my running mate and Cabinet Secretary for Justice and Constitutional Affairs, the Honorable Martha Wangari Karua.
Second, although the ratios of women representatives at all levels are slowly but steadily increasing, the gender quota is just window dressing, which the parties blatantly ignore or work around by nominating women candidates to top up lists.
Very many women were elected. It's not very many when you think about it. Like, I'm not talking about 50% of women were elected, but so much more than we've seen before. Even for the jockeys, even for the seats reserved for women rep. Like, they elect 0 women, and they even say if it wasn't clear that the seat reserved for women representatives is for women, they would vote in men. Like, I hope you get, how crazy that is.
Third, violence against women in politics poses a serious threat to women's political inclusion and citizenship.
The issue of sexual violence before the House, which is never treated very seriously. I have been sexually violated in this House, Chair, and no action was taken, even though when somebody undresses me in this House, that is sexual violence, Mr. Speaker. You don't touch my panty. You are not Mr. Mabona. That is sexual violence.
I think people are not used to, generally, to women who are vocal, and people are not also used to people who say things as it is. People are used to people who think things and don't say them out. I am a bit different. I think them out and say them. And the reason why I do that is because some of the things, if they remain unsaid, then they further discrimination and abuse of women.
Patriarchal attitudes and structural barriers in Kenya's political institutions disadvantage women, reducing the pool of candidates and the number of those elected.
Another common challenge that affects all, not only us here, is the issue of discrimination. Women are still being discriminated because you can find out sometimes maybe you are in a function, all are men, and then sometimes if you don't shout to be given an opportunity also to speak, then they just assume when men have spoken, then everyone everyone has spoken. So we still have that challenge. And then the common challenge of cyberbullying. I don't know if it is common in Bungoma or other places, but I think it is also worse here, where women, we are really mistreated, we are molested. Our young men and girls, they speak ill of women leaders, and they can talk of things that you would not even wish to hear.
Despite robust legislation through Kenya's 2010 constitution, which supports women and ensures gender equality, during the August 2022 general elections, a total of 1,962 female candidates were cleared by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) to vie for different seats in the 2022 elections, out of a total of 14,137 candidates, a number that is still a drop in the ocean. The major reasons for that included self-doubt, despite women actually having considerable professional experience and skills, lack of consent from potential candidates' husbands. They often fear that they will not have enough time to look after their children and run the household, and see political activity as a threat to doing business and personal safety.
I know that one of my colleagues in Parliament, somebody picked a pornographic movie and superimposed her face, and it went viral across the country. And she was a Muslim woman, and her husband walked out on her. So many women would not take the risk to go into politics if that's what happens.
Also, sometimes when you come out and you want to become a leader, you can encounter even challenges from your own family, because the community will come, and even inside your own people, they can even incite your husband. Why are you leaving your wife to go to politics? You will lose her there. You know, they give him examples of many other women who tried and they failed. So because of that, you might end up lacking that family support. And you know, in leadership or in political space, getting support from the family is very, very important.
11 years after the promulgation of the Kenya's 2010 constitution, women are asking what is there to celebrate when several gains to women's representation and participation in leadership continue to be eroded, ignored, and replaced with self-serving interest.
Fully implement the gender rule, and that will level the playing field for women to some extent. But beyond that, we will also make sure that the policies in place and the awareness drive to get women to have better access to positions of power.
How do we celebrate when 2/3 gender rule has not been fulfilled in all arms of government, not even in the county assemblies, where only 8 counties are compliant, meaning 39 are not? This was a powerful reflective question posed by Honorable Martha Karua during the Women Must Lead Policy Dialogue held on 28th of August 2022 in Nairobi, Kenya. Former Trans Nzoia woman representative Janet Nangabo, speaking at the Kitale Woman GK prison, challenged women in the region not to fear contesting against men in all elective seats in the August 2022 polls.
Mama, unaweza enda ugavana unaweza enda senator, unaweza enda ubunge, unaweza enda pia MCA. Unajua tukiwa wengi na tukitaka kulisha jamii, itakuwa ni kazi rahisi kwangu. Na ndiposa mimi na si wa mama, kama mna hiyo dugudugu ya kusema kwamba unataka kiti, hebu toka nje. Mimi na Janet Nangabo nimefight, nimekuwa kansela. Nimetoka kwa ukansela ndio huyu nimekuwa MP. Nataka nikitoka hapa ninakuwa gavana.
Besides Julia Ojambo, the first woman to be elected MP in Western Kenya in 1974, Christine Mango, who was a Butula Member of Parliament between 2002 and 2007, and Mary Emase, Teso South Member of Parliament, few women have dared try politics. Women from Western region of Kenya have decided to be at the forefront in fighting for women's rights through their group Western Union for Change. They accuse the elected women of neglecting emerging issues that affect women directly and focusing on their personal ambitions.
Me register Women for Change. Tunataka in future tukaanze kupata projects kwa counties, projects za wamama, tukapate kupigania kina mama. Kama ile 30% ya women contracts kina mama wapatiwa.
Wamama wako tayari, but kitu tunajua wanataka mwongozo. Na hii mwongozo vile imeanza hivi, nataka kushukuru wale wote ambao wako behind this idea.
In their first meeting held in Busia County, the group discussed their mission, which is to bring change to women in terms of representation and financial freedom through their table banking program. According to the women, the retrogressive culture has made many women shy away from change. Hence, there is a need to empower them through various projects.
Lengo kuu ya mkutano hii ni kuunganisha wamama wa magharibi, kukuwa na mwelekeo ya change in terms of tunataka mabadiliko kisiasa, kimaendeleo na representation.
How do we end this? Increase awareness across the country about women's rights and attack on patriarchal attitudes, recognizing women as political subjects, ending violence against women and the denial of their rights, deconstructing the sexual division of labor, speeding up women's economic empowerment, and enhancing their participation in labor markets. My name is Rita Kering Chebet.
What an insightful feature by our very own Rida Kerin Chebet. Kudos for the good work. Moving on, Pastor Dorcas Rigathi has rolled out a pilot tree planting program involving the youths who were previously involved in drug and substance abuse. The pilot program has been started in Kiamaringa village, Nyeri County, before being rolled out in other parts of the country.
Get them into productivity and to make them people who are able to contribute to the economy and the revenue, become a revenue stream for this country. There is succession management where we take the old people, they teach the young people, and where they are moving, then the young people can be able to occupy that place.
Nilikuwa nakunywa pombe, nilikuwa natumia karibu kila aina ya dawa, ya madawa. Sasa hii imenipunguzia juu at least na a lot of time na take nikiwa hapa. Na yani siwezi time huko nje.
Sisi ndo tunapanda miti na sasa tunafunza vijana pia wengine wenye wako huko bado. Tunaelimisha kuhusu hii project, tunapea umuhimu wao.
Nilikuwa mkunywaji wa pombe sana. Na wakati nilianza hii kazi katabu na wazi.
Not just here that I am doing, but in Loitoktok we have another 500,000 trees that are being planted. This time it is the widows that are doing there.
In Kakamega County has launched a maternal health training hub for expectant mothers and their babies. The hub, which will be domiciled at Kakamega Referral Hospital, seeks to reduce maternal mortality.
Globally, we lose over 500,000 women during pregnancy-related conditions annually. It is, however, important to note that Nearly all of those life-threatening conditions can be addressed effectively with safe, low-technology interventions by skilled providers at all levels of care. This is by comprehensively implementing emergency obstetric and newborn care, which comprises a set of life-saving interventions that treat the major obstetric and newborn causes of morbidity and mortality.
With that story, I'm taking a short commercial break, and I'll be back with more news.
Get fresh, gotta get fresh. Down is no boom boom pow, down is boom boom pow. Smell fire now, chafuzi na zidi na improve down is protect nguo zangu na dukia niko safi. Lazima niwe fresh na down is boom boom pow. Boom boom pow, down is no boom boom pow. So tena the boom boom pow, powerful freshness. Down is boom boom pow.
Maisha Prime News. You deserve to know. True and false. Furthermore, you are the most important person, not only to you, but to us.
With incredible reader Karim Chebet for bold, educative information news bulletin.
I research, explore, authenticate, and prepare adequately and sufficiently.
Get the whole story Monday to Thursday at 8 p.m. Kenya's biggest accountability and politics show.
Bottom up is a perspective of the neo-Marxist economist.
Senator Moses Masika Wetangula will give more trouble to Junet after
Politics, leadership, and governance brings you the hottest debates.
Go to school to study things that were created by school dropouts. Does it not beat your logic?
Refreshed and splendid cutting-edge interviews on trending topics.
That a 2 kg flour is more expensive than a sufuria for cooking ugali.
Every Thursday at 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Join the Maisha Television's reader Karim Chebet for PLG, where every opinion counts.
Yes, I do. Baby, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
True love stories never have endings.
Oh baby, nakupenda. Dunia nzima ijue nakupenda. Kupenda sio dhambi. Ni mpango toka kwa Mungu mwenyewe.
And that's why Maisha TV brings you amazing love stories on Yes I Do.
Pasta, mina sema yes I do. My love, love, love. Kwa shida na raha. Hadi kifo utabaki na mimi.
As we document your love story, join me, Mary Magdalene Nekesa, for this amazing wedding program. Yes, I do. You and me together forever.
Ingawa si rahisi, wapo wengi wanatungojea chini, lakini palipo Mola, ninasema na
which is still higher from the national level. The national level is at 16%, but we are still trying. As at now, our action plan has come to an end. It's coming to an end of this month, and today we are planning with the other sectors on how we are going to collect data to see our achievements for the last 5 years.
We have a policy guideline developed by the Ministry of Education.
Siasa.
Mahasla. Chama ya mahasla inaitwa nini?
Uongozi.
Watakuwa kila mwezi anapata shilingi 6,000 kutoka kwa serikali.
Tumeambiwa na Raila na Martha Karua Kalonzo, na hao wana serikali yoyote. Kazi yao ni kupiga kelele. Patakuna mtu nauliza hao mshahara.
Biashara.
The export markets which are stringent, we are unable to send our mangoes.
lakini sasa kupitia hii mradi tunanunua our own raw materials na tuna mix our own daily meal.
Kilimo, ufugaji wa samaki. Samaki ni viumbe ambao maisha yao hutegemea maji katika kuishi. Ulaji wao mzuri unategemeana na vipindi
yote utayapata ndani ya upevu wa maisha, ukiletwa kwako nami William Juma kila siku ya Ijumaa saa 2 hapa ndani ya runinga ipendayo ya Maisha.
Kabasi kama kuna mashimo nakona hapa na pale, unanipeleka mbio sana, tafadhali wacha pole pole haraka, haina baraka, haina baraka, unanipeleka mbio sana, hebu tuende pole pole haraka, haina baraka, naomba tuwe waaminifu, iwe kikamilifu, naomba tuwe waaminifu, tafadhali naomba, imani yetu iwe kikamilifu, imani.
Let the music move you to the beat. Only on Maisha TV. Choose it, watch it, and love it.
My name is Bushabi Jr.
He is on a mission to give you what's drifting.
Sabina Chege gave Raila Odinga viatu.
Akamwambia kupandia mlima.
Some sneakers akasema hii ni ya kupanda mlima.
Get ready for an exciting top editor show, The Drift.
You're welcome to The Drift
with Maisha Television's Bushabi Jr. at 7 p.m. on Monday.
Plan on the best way and day to kneel and ask the most corrupt question in the world to a lady. Will you marry me?
Don't miss out on Kenya's all-time big current affairs entertaining TV program.
And as usual, I'm not alone. I'm hanging out with this gorgeous lady seated next,
carrying all top trending stories in Kenya and beyond.
I am a doctor of medicine. I don't know what you are.
The Drift at 7 p.m. on Monday.
Welcome back. My name is Mary Magdalene Nekesa. Let's shift to the education segment.
Today we channeled our means to Kitale, Trans Nzoia County. Here we encountered St. Anthony Boys High School, governed by the principal Mr. Simon Masibo, with the associated teachers.
I'm Simon Masibo, the school principal, St. Anthony Boys. St. Anthony Boys is St. Anthony Boys. St. Anthony Boys is a boys boarding school. It is located in Kitale, Trans Nzoia County, just around Kitale District Hospital. St. Anthony Boys has a total of 2,400 students. In terms of performance, St. Anthony High School is at a mean of 10.3. Currently, it's the best in Trans Nzoia, and nationally it is number 5. And the class that we have this year, that is 2023 candidates, we call it the Connect. Its target, or our target, is 10.5 plus, of which we have high hopes that we are going to attain, because of the collective responsibility from all the parties in the compound, that is the teachers, the students, and even the support staff.
The school is not only the top performing schools in Trans Nzoia County in matters of education, but also based in core curriculum activities. St. Anthony managed to progress to the national level in both hockey and rugby, not forgetting football team who are the regional champs. This is evident as he managed to avoid the rugby team to reach at the national level for the first time, awaiting to proceed to Rwanda in August this year.
When comes to sports, St. Anthony is known for academic and also for sports. It's a powerhouse when it comes to sports. Already, hockey is number 2 nationally, meaning it will be going to Rwanda in August. And also rugby, for the first time, it is number 3 in the country nationally, so it's also going to Rwanda for the first time. And currently, we are the regional champs in football, and next week we shall be heading to Kakamega, of which we believe we're also going to carry that cup and then take our team to Rwanda for the East African Games.
We carried off an exclusive with the principal, who is determined to push the school to succeed in both academics and sports.
So in a nutshell, I want to say that St. Anthony is a school which is blessed with so many things. First, our students are very disciplined. When you hear of all these disciplines that I'm saying, be it academics, be it sports, they're excelling because of the great discipline that these students have, the support team has, the support staff has, and also the teaching staff.
Mr. Masibo also applauded those endeavoring to facilitate the school, starting from the county government to parents, whom are the genesis to all this success, by trusting them with their disciplined students, bearing in mind the Catholic Church being the school sponsors.
It is being led by the Catholic Church as a sponsor. The board is very supportive. The parents are very supportive. When it comes to academic, they really support the school. That is in terms of fee payment, in terms of even this other running of the school. Whenever we call for a meeting, they come in big. Also, the ministry has really supported us in terms of academics. Also, the county government has really assisted us in terms of our performance.
Reporting for Maisha Prime, Maisha Television, I'm Emmanuel Wabomba.
And from the education segment, let's now have Kilimo Chapa.
Kilimo Chapa.
In Kilimo Chapa, today we will learn more about the common chicken diseases, the poultry diseases, symptoms, and how to treat most of these chicken sicknesses, as well as how to prevent chicken diseases. Chickens, ducks, geese, turkeys, quails, guinea fowls, and most other poultry birds commonly suffer from a variety of poultry diseases and health conditions. Maintaining peak levels of poultry health is vital for farmers and producers wishing to give their flocks a fighting chance. A healthy chicken, whether a broiler, layer, or a free-range chicken, is one that has regular access to optimal nutrient intake. While many drugs are available for improving chicken health, supplements and additives are highly effective at boosting the immune system and supporting healthy functions. Many common poultry diseases, including fowl cholera, botulism, and Marek's disease, can be mitigated or even avoided by improving diets and relieving elements that could contribute to poultry stress. For some of the most severe diseases and health afflictions, vaccines, antibiotics, and other treatments may be required. However, even in situations that require the use of drugs, chickens will have a greater chance of survival if they have been given required portions of nutrients to sustain health. Some chicken diseases such as polarum disease, infectious coryza, and infectious bronchitis can go virtually undetected for days or weeks on end, while other backyard chicken diseases can kill chickens within a matter of hours. Here are some of the most common chicken and poultry diseases and how to treat them. The first one is foalpox. If you notice your chickens developing white spots on their skin, scabby sores on their combs, white ulcers in their mouth or trachea, and their laying stops, then you should grow concerned that your chicken are developing foalpox. There is no cure for foalpox, but there are comfort measures that can be provided for affected chickens, as well as preventative measures to avoid secondary bacterial infections caused by the lesions. Unaffected birds can be vaccinated during an outbreak. Foulpox is a virus and cannot be treated with antibiotics, which are all designed to fight bacteria, not viruses. However, secondary infections are common. Foulpox for the dry form, triple antibiotic ointments and creams can be priceless in treating the external sores. Common drugs such as alicereol, Nemovit, sulfafox, and ESB3 can be used to treat foulpox. If mosquitoes and other insects that bite poultry are a challenge in your area, use Cycline to control the insects. Individual birds infected with dry pox usually recover in 2 to 4 weeks, but it may take several weeks or months for the entire flock to recover because the foulpox virus spreads slowly throughout the flock. You can feed them soft food and give them a warm and dry place to try and recoup. With adequate care, there is a great chance that your birds can survive this illness. The second common disease is botulism. Botulism is another potentially lethal disease. Can you see tremors in your chicken? If so, these tremors could extend to take hold of the rest of your chicken's body and eventually kill them. It is a disease caused by the ingestion of a toxin produced by the Clostridium botulinum bacterium. All domestic fowl and most wild birds are susceptible to the toxin's effects. If your chickens contract this disease, it means that there has been some type of dead meat left near their food and water which contaminated it. Another symptom to keep an eye out for is if feathers fall out too easily. Fortunately, there are treatment options worth looking into. If the disease is still in its infancy, you can feed your chicken Epsom salts with warm water. There is also an antitoxin that can be purchased from your local vet, which can be effective to some extent. If you catch the disease early enough, you can mix 1 teaspoon of Epsom salts with 1 ounce of warm water. You can give it to them by dropper once daily. A third common disease is fowl cholera. Fowl cholera is a highly contagious bacterial disease that affects poultry birds. It is caused by Pasteurella multocida and could be transmitted through ingestion of contaminated food and water or from a carrier host chicken. It can be caught from a range of rodents and animals, including birds and raccoons. Are your chickens suffering from a yellow diarrhea? Do they have a darkened head or appear to have difficulty moving? These could all be signs that your chicken has contracted the fowl cholera disease. Fowl cholera can be treated with penicillin, streptomycin, erythromycin, tetracyclines, and sulfonamides. You will need to administer drugs for a long time because the disease usually returns after stopping medication. To prevent fowl cholera, administer fowl cholera vaccine and maintain a high level of farm hygiene and sanitation. Prevent rodents, cats, and wild birds from gaining access to the pen. The fourth disease is infectious bronchitis. This is a rapid, sudden, and high contagious viral poultry disease. It's caused by a coronavirus and could be transmitted through the air, contaminated materials, and carrier host. This highly contagious disease is airborne, meaning your chickens can catch it extremely easy. Abnormal respiratory sounds, snoring, gasping, sneezing, and coughing, watery nasal discharge, ocular discharge, and swelling of the face, reduced egg production, and poor eggshell quality. All of these could be clear signs that your chicken is infected. Infectious bronchitis has no specific treatment, but you can administer antibiotics in mixed infections. You should also take affected chickens to a warm, dry place to recover. Some farmers have tried warm herb tea and fresh herbs, and they claim they worked. Use drugs such as Respimint, Coloxan, Doxin, Interflox, and Coliflox to prevent infectious bronchitis. Vaccinate your chickens against the disease and maintain proper ventilation of chicks. Infectious coryza. Infectious coryza or fowl coryza is a severe respiratory disease that affects chicken, and it could be sudden. This disease is common in layers and broilers, and it can be caused by Haemophilus paragalinarum. It could be transmitted through water contaminated with nose discharges, through the air, or through direct contact with an infected chicken. You will know that your birds have caught this disease when their heads become swollen, their eyes will swell shut, and their combs will also swell. Then the discharge will begin to flow from their eyes and noses. They will stop laying and will have moisture under their wings. Infectious coryza can be treated with antibiotics and sulfur drugs. Oxytetracycline, enrofloxacin, trimethoprim, and sulfur drug can be combined to treat infectious coryza. Other drugs that can also be used include Respimint, Coloxan, Doxin, Interflox, and Coliflox. Chickens can be protected from this disease through vaccination. Dispose all infected chickens or those that have recovered, sanitation and hygiene, and avoid keeping chickens of different ages together.
Kilimo chapa.
And now let's have our entrepreneurial segment, My Hustle, My Story.
It remains a land of opportunity where almost everything is possible. Success is addictive, money is good at the hustle, and imaginably real. Speaking of hustling, no one understands this better than Mike. Mike has been making a living in Bungoma by simply doing this. Yes, welding. I met him at his kiosk along the Mumias Bungoma Road, where he has been stationed not as an employee but as a welding officialo. He's made welding techniques and ideas manning the favorites of among many pundits here in Bungoma.
Naitwa Michael Obiwa. Na business inaitwa welding fabrication. Na intend kutengeneza milango, dirisha, gates, viti. Na vinginevyo kama kuweka kisima. Vitu yenye na deal tunachuma. Tumeanzisha January. Vitu mtu anaweza ingia na pia mtoe mahali mfikishe mahali. Bora awe amependa, amejituma, atia bidii. Kitu nilifanya nikaamua hivyo. Hii kazi nilianza kuipenda mwanzo kama nilikuwa shuleni. Kwa primary, naona vitu zinakuwa complicated. Hizi kitu natengeneza, lakini from there nikakuwa na interest. Nilijifunza hiyo kazi pia mimi nifanye. Mimi nikitengeneza kitu kama hivyo. Hapo nikaingia high school. Nimaliza lakini mwisho nikaamua niende train. Nijifunze tu hiyo kazi. Ngaja hata nilikuwa nimetoa university but nikaamua kubadilisha. Nijifunze hiyo kwanza ndio hiyo itakuja next.
So kwa hiyo period ya ushamaliza high school ukaenda ukatrain 1.5 years. What did you do next? Did you seek employment?
From there nilitafuta ajira. Hapo ndio nikaanza kuzunguka na hicho hiyo hasa kuzunguka kule na pale ndio kwanza nilijifunza tu time kile kwa hiyo miaka yote kwanza nikifanyia. In order to capitalize the opportunity, these entrepreneur ropes in clients right from the source.
where he capitalizes talk to the kiosk where the magic happens. Mike has even proven a threat to indigenous welders in Bungoma, who often at times cannot help but gaze at him in astonishment.
Kwa hiyo competition, one, lazima ukubali hiyo competition uwe na uingie ndani ya competition. Na kukimbizana na hiyo competition, kitu ya maana ni kuwa na capital kidogo yenye pia unaweza access, utengeneze vitu zako uweke kwa display hivi, list zinaweza kusukuma kiasi.
Besides doing specialty welding, Mike also runs a small space that offers welding services and display at the facade. But it hasn't always been easy.
Hali inaweza kuwa ngumu, ukiwa na stock but haijachukuliwa. Sasa unapata hata wakati mwingine imeweka kuna kitu umeattempt, na huenda siku moja hata unaweza make toka profit moja kwa siku ama kwa hiyo the week, ina depend na vile kazi pia inaingia.
And in a bid to get more customers, sell more items and win more maestros, Mike's design is on plan.
One, usiogope kujaribu kufanya kitu ama kuingia kwa field kwa business yoyote. Unapoogopa kuanza kitu then you fail. So unafaa tu unachikaza ile kidogo yenye unapata. Mungu ako na maksudi, na Mungu pia anaweza kutuacha bure hivyo kupigania, lakini usiogope kuingia kwa battleground hapo ya biashara. Pia na uchikaze na upende hiyo kazi kwanza. Kitu ambacho ni kupenda, tia bidii, mtumikia Mungu. Kama ni mistake yenye unasafari kuenda, huenda umesikizana na customer mtengenezee kitu kwa standard fulani, na unapatikana wewe umebadilisha hiyo material, hiyo standard, hiyo material umechukua kwa ile standard ya chini, umemtengenezea tena ile kitu yenye haikuwa designed vile alitaka. Hiyo ndio mistake kubwa na reject.
Sasa solution yake ni
solution ni wewe kutengeneza nyingine na msikizana kwa pesa yako. Mara kwetu tengeneza hii kitu ndaletewa pesa, ama mtoto wetu hebu nimekwama hapa tengeneza hii kitu. Unaona sasa hiyo si kitu. Lakini huku unakuja una interact na different people in business. Kazi zingine baadhi watu wanaziangalia, wanazidharau, wanasema hizi si watu wa kusoma, hizi watu sasa. Usiangalia wewe jitume. Na wana unapokaa chini upige hesabu zako, wewe amua ni kazi fulani unataka kufanya. Ukishaamua ni hiyo kazi, one, kitu ya kwanza unafaa upende hiyo kazi. Usipopenda hiyo kazi hakuna hiyo kazi. Upenda hiyo kazi na kuwe na bidii na uvumilie kwa hali na mali. Ikiwa challenges ziko wakati hata ufunue na tufunze hiyo kazi, mambo ni mengi tofauti. Lakini nafasi sasa unaipenda, unajikaza na unavumilia. Siku moja itakufikisha mahali kwenye hata watu watamini wewe jamaa. Sasa mimi nauliza tu sana ile yenye uko nayo yenye ujifunza, ridhika na hiyo na mpendo. Usiwe pengine unafanya kama ya kuchoma, unatamani kuwa daktari. Hapana, Mungu ako na kusudi. Jua jinsi ulivyokuwa na hiyo jambo ya kujifunza hiyo kazi, sio kwa uwezo wako. Hiyo ilikuwa tu direction hiyo wewe yenye Mungu alikuwa anakupatia, ukaamua hivyo ama kufikiria hivyo. Mungu sasa wewe ipende vile iko na hivi ile hali iko, usitamani na kuja pale.
And here in Bungoma, it's all about keeping it local, courtesy of Michael Ward. Absolutely industrious, totally diligent. It goes my hustle, my story, Maisha TV, Brian Gad.
With that, we've come to the end of the comprehensive Maisha Prime News. My name is Mary Magdalene Nekesa. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Get fresh, gotta get fresh. Down is no boom boom pow, down is boom boom pow. Mabaya na uchafuzi na zibita improve down ni protect nguo zangu na nukia niko safi. Lazima niwe fresh na down is boom boom pow. Boom boom pow, down is no boom boom pow. Zote na di boom boom pow, powerful freshness. Down is boom boom pow.
Maisha Prime News.
You deserve to know. True and false. Furthermore, you are the most important person, not only to you, but to us.
With incredible reader Karin Chebet for bold, educative information news bulletin.
I research, explore, authenticate, and prepare adequately and sufficiently.
Get the whole story. Monday to Thursday at 8 p.m. Kenya's biggest accountability and politics show.
Bottom up is a perspective of the neo-Marxist economist.
Senator Moses Masika Wetangula will give more trouble to Junet after
Politics, leadership and governance brings you the hottest debates.
Go to school to study things that were created by school dropouts. Does it not beat your logic?
Refreshed and splendid cutting-edge interviews on trending topics.
That a 2 kg flour is more expensive than a sufria for cooking ugali.
Every Thursday at 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Join the Maisha Television's reader Karin Chebet for PLG, where every opinion counts.
Yes, I do. Baby, yes, I do. Yes, I do.
True love stories never have endings.
24, come on. Oh baby, nakupenda. Dunia nzima ijue nakupenda. Kupenda sio dhambi. Ni mpango toka kwa Mungu mwenyewe.
And that's why Maisha TV brings you amazing love stories on Yes I Do.
Pasta, mina sema yes I do. My love, love. Kwa shida na raha. Hadi kifo utabaki na mimi.
As we document your love story, join me, Mary Magdalene Nekesa, for this amazing wedding program. Yes I Do. You and me together forever.
Ingawa sira